right, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and Shalom to you, Akim, Nagwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, let's dive into this lesson. Today's lesson is going to be built off of Matthew's 13, and the focus I want to get to is in 41. All right, I was speaking with one of the brothers at camp, and I told him I would go over this scripture. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start from 36 just to get the context of what this scripture was talking about. Turn down his music. All right, I'm going to get straight to it. This is Matthew 13 and 36. All right, speaking about the tares explained. All right, the tares and the wheats. As we know, if you look at tares and wheat, let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. All right, tares and wheat looks the same. There you go. Matter of fact, I got it. Yeah, tares and wheat look the same when they're young. All right. Can I pull this up? Yeah, tares and wheat look the same when they're young. But there you go. See? Wheat and the tares and the apocalypse. Tares look identical to wheat before it's fully ripe. See that? Before it's fully ripe, they look the same. All right, now, just like right now, we're all, what you would say, born in sin. All right, but then what happens when the Lord has you grow to who you need to become, meaning the hopeful elect, and the truth, dealing with righteousness. That's that separation. That's what makes you holy, meaning separated. All right. So through the Lord's blessing us with this understanding and wisdom, it separates us from the rest of our people. All right. That's why the scriptures say that not all that come from Abraham are of Abraham, just because they're Israelites. The division, the separation is going to be made through those of the promise, those that follow after righteousness. All right. So the Most High is setting everything up for a judgment day, to where the fruits of everyone's labor will shine through. Their spirit will shine through. It will be clear who's going to be of the hopeful elect, chosen, and who's going to be of the 2/3. All right, chosen to have their part with the wicked in destruction. All right, you're going to be chosen for salvation or chosen for destruction. So tares and the wheat, they look identical. All right, but when they grow up to be cropped off or harvested, you can tell the difference between the two. So the same way in these last days, you can kind of start to tell who's who, man. Everybody's choosing a side. They're choosing, idols. They're choosing governments. They're choosing themselves, right? But the elect are choosing Yahweh, right? After being known of Yahweh, put it like that. All right, so yeah, get back to it. Where was that? Let's go to the blue letter again. So that's the understanding of the tares and the wheat. So I'm not going to go too much into it. But, simple and plain. Yahweh Shai set up the children of Israel. And the wicked mingled in lies and deception. All right. and also their physical seed mingled amongst our people. So you got Israelites looking like everybody. You don't know who's who. Just like the same way in the spirit, you can't tell who's who. You see Sakari in them, you see IUIC. You can tell by their doctrine that they're off, but you don't. We don't know who's the elect in their camps. See, that's why the Most High is going to send His angels, and they're going to do the separating, all right, of the tares and the wheat. The tares are made to be burned, and the wheats are made to be cropped off and taken up into the barn for the master's use. All right. So we want to be numbered with the wheat, not the tares. So let's move on. That way I have to go back and read it, dealing with the tares and the wheats. Matthew 13 and 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parables of the tares and the wheats. Tares in the field. All right, the field is the world. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. See, Yahushua has sown good seed spiritually amongst our people. All right, the spirit of truth and promise and wisdom and understanding. The field is the world, all right, this whole earth. But then you have a garden within that field that represents the children of Israel. All right. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked. Now that's, you can say physical, you got the tares, the children of the wicked, but then you got the children of the kingdom, which represent the children of Israel. But now there's a separation that's going to happen to where 2/3 of Israel are going to be counted along with the children of the wicked. All right. And we can read Revelation 14, and it speaks about the children of the wicked, man. All right. And you got 3 parts on earth. You got the children of the wicked, the sons of man, and then you have the sons of God. But within the sons of God, you have 2/3. All right. Let me get this real quick. This is Luke. Let me get this. Let me just read it off here. John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father, the devil. He's talking to our people, 2/3. And the lust of your father ye will do. All right. That's why they're the seed of the wicked. All right. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. All right. That goes all the way back to Esau. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So anybody that follows after lies, they become adopted to these devils, to their doctrine, their lies, their wickedness. All right. So this is more spiritual. You got physical dealing with the Israel being mingled, speckled bird, but this is mostly talking about spiritual. The enemy that sowed them, all right, that planted them, is the devil. All right, so that's talking about who? The deceiver, Esau. All right, you got spiritual demon Satan working on the left hand side, and their counterpart on earth, Esau, pushing the lies and deception. The harvest, right, and they're the rulers of the darkness of this world. The harvest is the end of the world. See, the harvest is Judgment Day. That's what the Most High is working towards, and Yahushua working towards Judgment Day. With the harvest of the elect, there's going to be a harvest of the wicked. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. That's right. Let me see if I can get it real quick. I don't want to go too far off topic, but this is Revelations 14 and 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud. And who is that? Second Ezra 13, talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. They told him what? Thrust in thy sickle, right? Because Revelation 7, you'll read the angels are commanded to hold back the destruction from happening on this earth, holding back the winds, because those winds are what's going to separate and scatter and destroy everybody in the fire. All right. Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap. The harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle. A sickle represents a skith or a cutting tool. Once the wheat and the tares are grown up, and they crop it off, they cut off the top of these kernels or corn or whatever, and they cut it off with the sickle. All right, but the Lord's sickle represents fire and wrath, all right, and also a laser, a nuclear fire. So he's going to cut off these nations with this destruction. Same way you use a sickle. But this right here is talking about Revelation 14 is talking about Esau, and it goes into the rest of these heathens in 2/3. But starting with Esau, all right? And he that sat on the cloud, on the chariot, thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. See? And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven. He also had a sharp sickle, and another angel came out of the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe, man. So it's talking about gathering the elect, but he said, defending, he should also deliver. So he's going to gather the elect. And he also, cut off these heathens in 2/3 also. Where was that? And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great wine press of the wrath of Yahweh. See, that's not going to happen to 2/3. To the elect. That's going to happen to 2/3 of the nation of Israel and these heathens, and especially Esau. All right, they're going to be gathered and destroyed here in America, in Babylon. And the wine press was trodden without the city. And where is that? Outside of Jerusalem, but it's trodden where? In another land called Arsareth, America. All right, so this is the stomping ground. This is going to be the what is it called? The wine press. All right, the great wine press of the wrath of the Most High. Right, the wine press is where you would take off your shoes and you would crush grapes with your feet and get the blood to come out and go into the vats, so it can be used. So in this way, the Lord is going to be crushing grapes, crushing these people. Right. So that's it, man. The blood came out of the wine press. See, just like out of the grapes, even unto the horse's bridle. Right. It's going to be that much death and destruction on this earth. That basically represents a lot of bloodshed. Right? They beat you up to a horse's face. All right, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Now, let's keep going. So Matthew 13:39, the enemy that sold them is the devil. See, yeah, right. The harvest, right? Because look at the condition of our people, man. That was partly done by the devil himself, the deceiver Esau, through deception, right? The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. All right, so the Lord gonna send his angels to gather the elect from around the four corners of the earth, especially here in America, because this is a place where we're really going to need deliverance, because everything's going to happen so quick. And as therefore the tares are gathered, right, the tares, 2/3, and the heathens, and burned in the fire. So comparing it, the same way they are gathered and burned. So when you say cast them into fire, he's talking about gathering them. In the same way we're being gathered in the spirit, the Lord is gathering these nations and these heathens over here through their own, what's the word? Deception and their derision and their wickedness and their lust. All right. So they gathered here to be what? Destroyed if they're on the soils of America. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels. So the Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai is going to send his holy angels. Just like in Ezekiel chapter 1. All right. And they look like men, not animals with four heads. All right. That was a question somebody brought to me. But yeah, the angels look like men. All right. So he's going to send forth his angels. If you go to Ezekiel 1, it said they four had the face of a man, period. And every time the angels were sent throughout the Bible, they look like men. They look just like us, but they're spiritual. All right. Where it says four heads, the ox, the lion, the man, it look like a man and an eagle. It's talking about their duties, their offices. Right? Because in Revelations, it tells you all the four angels have all four faces. That don't make sense. So that's just a point I want to make real quick. But the angels have faces just like us, right? Just like Yahweh Shai. Yeah. So now, and then you got the lion, the ox, and the eagle. They're the top animals on the earth. Being the lion, what they call the king of the safari or the jungle. What's the other one? The ox, which is the top animal of all cattle. And then you have the eagle, the top of all birds, the highest flying bird as well. And then you got man. That's the top of everything. So that's what the archangels represent. They're the top of the crop. So the Lord gonna send his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. This is the point. All right. So not only is he gonna gather the wicked, these heathens, but he's gonna gather 2/3 of our people, no matter what they look like. All right. And they're gonna be gathered, meaning separated from amongst his elect, so they can receive that judgment. All right. So he shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. And Esau naturally does iniquity and offends. Offend means to break the law, right? Or to break the law, or to sin, right? To continually sin. And iniquity means to break the law. So the Most High is going to gather out of his kingdom. His kingdom represents who? The children of Israel. All right, in this earth. So the one that's going to be gathered from amongst his people and separated for destruction is going to be the 2/3 of Israel. All right, all things that offend, meaning all the ones that don't want to keep the Lord's laws, that continue in sin and idolatry, and them which do iniquity, mean those that hate or despise the Lord's laws, and shall cast them, meaning to turn them into it. Right? Even if he bring the fire to them, he's changing their story. He's looking at them saying, all right, you're comfortable now, but let me change the scene. And now they're burning up in fire. That's to cast or to change them into a furnace of fire, right? And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. They're going to be crying out for the Most High, but he's not going to hear them. He's going to leave them there to get destroyed. 2/3 of our people, man, Israelites. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. This is for the elect. They're going to be the ones that shine forth. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. Right. So, what was that? What was that? There you go. I'll get this. Matthew's 25. We already have that one. Let's get Matthew's 25 real quick. 30, 25, and 33. Have we got it on here? All right, here we go. All right. Matthew 25 and 32. No, 31. The judgment. See, judgment day. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, in his rulership and power, and all the holy angels with him. See, the holy angels in heaven are going to be with Yahweh Shai. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, man. So he's going to rule over this earth, right? In righteousness. And before him shall be gathered all nations. And he shall separate them one from another. See, spirit, this is spiritual. He's going to say, nah, leave that one to get destroyed. That one right there is going to get judged. That one right there, get him. Psalms 91. He's going to give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. That's for the elect, the chosen. All right, so, and as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats, man. So the Lord is going to separate his elect. That's going to be the separation, all right? That's going to be the gathering. Whoever's walking on the soils of this place, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, great Babylon, right, is going to be destroyed. And the Lord is going to number 2/3 of our people to that destruction. But his sheep, his elect that hear his voice, they're going to be divided from the goats, man. The goats represent these heathens, especially starting with Esau, and pagans, and then 2/3 of our people. They're going to be separated from them. All right. And he shall set his sheep on the right hand for righteousness and for the kingdom, but the goats on the left, man. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. All right, and that's for the elect. But the rest, the ones that, let me get this real quick. Hold up, where is it at? There you go. Let's get that in the Apocrypha. All right, so Matthew 13 and 41 is the point. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity. All right, so those that have hated and despised the Lord's laws and cast them behind them, talking about our people, you know, and these heathens, but mainly its focus right here is on our people, and all things that offend, man. So those that continue in sin, all right, idol worship, right, they shall be cast into the furnace of fire. They shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Now, if we go here, 2 Ezra 9, let's go to verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved from what? The coming destruction, from the Lord's wrath, and shall be able to escape by his works, man. And the works is, like Paul said, show me thy faith without thy works, and I'll show thee my faith by my works. And teaching is the works, but also when you're at home, you know, in your life, keeping the Lord's laws to the best of your ability. All right. That's part of the works as well. And by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, man. So the hopeful elect gonna be preserved from the coming destruction. that was spoken of, and shall see my salvation in my land. So they're going to see it and experience it. That's why I say, those that are left within his borders, right, are way better than those that be dead, man. Because the ones that even that are of the elect that may not make it through what's coming. It's better to be alive and see the miracles and see the kingdom being ushered in, seeing Yahweh Shah showing up and what he do to these nations. Right? It's better to be alive and to see that. They shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. See, always from the beginning of the world. If you're in this truth, the Lord has sanctified you, anointed you. So when you go back to the Father, when the Most High judges you, he sends you back down here on this earth to follow his ways once again. All right? Or to be set up to be the elect in these last days. So now, they shall be in pitiful, which now have abused my ways. All right? So they're going to be in a bad situation, Jacob's trouble, that have abused the Lord's ways. That's like 2/3 out here, man. You can think of so many people, these rappers, the entertainers, the musicians, movie stars, Jake in the government, Jake in the streets, Jake in the churches, religion, and banking. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in the torments, man. For such as in their life have received benefits, been taken care of by the Most High, and have not known me. All right. And they that have loathed my law, so they hate the Lord's laws, right? Those that offend, those that dwell in iniquity, because they hate the Most High's law. Even Jake that claimed to be in the truth, they eating pork on screen and all that. It don't even matter if you're on screen or not, but you got people like Nate, pride, lies, false doctrine, right? And they that hate have loathed my law while they yet had liberty. See, we got liberty right now. All right, it goes into freedom. He said, the truth shall set you free. But those that are free are free to do the Lord's will, not free to continue in wickedness. All right, this is that grace period. That's what that liberty represents. And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, that's right now. That's why he said, don't let them find you sleeping. All right, sleeping means you're missing the opportunity that's being presented to you. Spiritually dead. Sleep. All right, so the place, the door of repentance is open unto us right now. It says what? And 2/3 they understood it not, but despised it. The same shall know it after death by pain. So it's gonna be they're gonna have a painful death. All right. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. Don't worry about Jake, what's gonna happen to him, or oh man, the Lord gonna do this to him. He gonna do, we don't know. He said, and when, don't worry about when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved. Focus on the ones that's in the truth, in their deliverance, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. It's deep, man. So let's go, right. So he's gonna gather Matthew 13:41, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity. All right. So let me get this. That's right. I got a couple other precepts here I want to get. Damn. All right, let's go ahead. All right, man. Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead. Isaiah 65:11. It says here, 65:11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, man. See that? Those that loathe his law, that offend, that still dwell in iniquity, they are the ones that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain. They forget Israel, his kingdom, that prepare a table for that troop and furnish the drink offering unto that number, man. So they sacrificing unto heathens. I mean, idols. All right, it goes to idolatry and money worship, right? I think it was called troop. Gad and Mene, which means it's like the churches, man. They be pushing that. Um, what's that called, man? I'm gonna get it real quick. Why not? Fortune, you know. There was an idol named Gad at that time, and it means God of idol of fortune, a Babylonian deity. So they would see even today that idol of fortune is Jesus, Cesare Borgia, Zeus, Jupiter, all these mythological idols, you know, and charms and lucky charms that everybody into all this wickedness, man, for financial gain, and also number is called Mene Lamanya, which means fate or fortune. See, an idol of fate who the Jews worshipped in Babylonia. So today, the same way they worship the idols of money, Mene, money. All right, it's good. The Lord said that, man, in the second Ezra. He told Ezra, he said, "Yo, don't worry about being poor or whatever on the bottom in this society because one, it's a perverted and wicked generation. Two, he said he didn't number Ezra's amongst the wicked, so he should be proud of that, you know." And he said three, he told Ezra, "Hey, don't worry about not having money because people that have a lot, they usually forsake the Lord or they start to worry about their appearance. Look at these rappers today, man. First thing they do when they start getting money or owning a business and they get on YouTube or something on somebody's platform and they ask them about sodomy, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not against it. That's people's life. So they don't want to mess up their money." Look at a perfect example of that is Nick Cannon, the debate he just had with Candace Owens about that lifestyle, the rainbow community. You know, he worrying about his employees because he deal with a lot of them. He got to watch what he say. He gets sued. So the Lord said He's gonna what? Therefore, I will number you to the sword. All right. So He's gonna gather out all things that offend and those that do iniquity, the ones that's breaking His laws and the ones that despise the Most High and His people. The prophets. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. So 2/3 are going to bow down uh, to the slaughter. All right. And the slaughter is going to be, Most High going to use Esau as part of that slaughter. They're going to be gathered as sheep to the slaughter. Revelation 13, they're going to be deceived with the MOTB and they're going to get slaughtered by the Most High. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. But did evil before mine eyes, the iniquity, and did not choose that wherein I delighted. See, the same thing. And still dwelling in iniquity and also breaking the Lord's laws um, carelessly. Will we be saved by the laws? No, but we still want to love righteousness, man. We shouldn't be walking around just eating pork, you know, and whatever 612 laws, right? So now let's go. So the Lord said He's going to number them to the sword. That's what it means when He says, what was that? Matthew, right here. That's what he means when he says this. Uh, the son of Matthew 13:41, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that still dwell in sin, that offend or break his law, and them which do iniquity, that break the Lord's laws and still commit sin. So they're going to be gathered out in the what? And shall be cast into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Okay, so what's this, man? Did I already get this? That's right. He already read this one, Matthew 25. So I want to get something else real quick. Let's go into Matthew 24. And 22. All right. Right. Matthew 24 and 22. No, matter of fact, go here. All right. This is Matthew 3 and 12. It says here, now let's go to 3 and 11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance. So we've been baptized in this truth. All right. Unto repentance. But he that cometh after me is mightier than I. It's talking about John the Baptist, talking about Yahushua, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He said the same thing in the book of John about Yahushua. All right, so we're not able to walk in Yahushua's shoes, but we can copy him as far as doing what the Father said to the best of our ability. And he shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. All right. So John was clear. He wasn't saying that he was the Messiah. He's saying Yahushua is about to show up. That's the Messiah. But you got Jake out here like comfy. The Lord took him out, and whoever else out here that claimed to be, try to stand in the place of the Lord, try to be everyone's savior. Look at Jay-Z, call himself Jehovah, for example. All right. Matthew 3 and 12, whose fan is in his hand. See, I mean, it's in his power to bring this coming destruction. And that's what the fan represents, the missiles. His sword shall be bathed in heaven. The destruction from the winds. Yahweh has put all of that in Yahushua's hand. All right, Yahweh said, he's judging no man. He's going to have his son do it. Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor. See, he's going to purge his kingdom. But when he purges it, he's going to start with the elect of our people. All right. What is that? Where it say judgment shall begin at the house. All right, let me see. Let me do that real quick. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm probably get it in a minute. It says, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor. So you're going to purge out the rebels, purge out 2/3 by this coming destruction, and gather his wheat, his elect, into the barn or the garner or the chariots. Right? They're going to be gathered by the angels, and they're going to be brought to Yahushua in his huge chariot. But he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. All right, so the chaff represents what's separated. Once the Lord cuts off the crops, and you have the debris or the chaff that's blown away with the wind, right? And he scatters it on the threshing floor, and then he winnows it. That's what the fan represents. There you go. That fan it says here,
Strong's G 4425. Duon.
duan
Duon.
is Greek, right? Duan, which means a winnowing shovel. All right, that's what it means when his fan is in his hand, or what's used to separate the elect from amongst the wicked is going to be the destruction, the winds, the destruction. All right, that's what's going to do the separating. As scattering like spittle, so a winnowing fork to cleanse. All right, let's get it real quick. I'm gonna show you an example. This is a winnowing tool. It says winnowing techniques include using a winnowing fan, a shaped basket shaken. Right? It's like Amos chapter 9 says, uh, "It shall sift the house of Israel as corn is sifted in the sieve, and shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." All right, but the elect is going to be taken up. A shaped basket shaken to raise the chaff, or using a tool, a winnowing fork or a shovel on a pile of harvested grain. Right. So now check this out. Winnowing separates lighter impurities, right? That's not heavy. They don't have nothing that can hold them down, no foundation. But the light impurities, man, carried away with the wind, spiritually and physically. Winnowing separates lighter impurities from heavier components. And this would be the elect, all right, from the wheat, with the help of wind, with the help of the destruction, the winds. So Yahweh Shai is going to do a separation after the orders of Yahweh, and the angel, he's going to send the angels, and they're going to separate the elect from amongst the tares, the wicked, and he's going to use the destruction, the winds, to also help aid in that scattering and separation. It's going to be a complete separation. These people are going to dwell in the destruction. These people are going to dwell in the salvation. This technique is used in agriculture to clean grains by removing chaff. Traditional winnowing was carried out by using a shovel or a sieve. Winnowing fan and winnowing fork are other winnowing tools. So the missiles, the winds, the fire, all of those are tools of the Most High that He gave into the hands of um, the tiller of the soil, Yahweh Shai. All right, so right, I want to get this one too. Let's go here. Yeah, there. Let's go to First Peter's. So yeah, let's go back up here real quick. Matter of fact, so he shall thoroughly purge his floor, man, and gather his wheat into the garner, but he will burn up the chaff. 2/3, man, those things that offend and those that commit iniquity. He shall burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. Ain't nobody gonna be able to put it out. All right. Let's get that real quick. Why not? First Peter's 4:17. This First Peter's 4:17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh." See, time of Jacob's trouble is ultimately going to, yeah, martial law, famines, all these things. But the main trouble for Jacob is going to be those missiles. if it first begin at us, what shall it be? What shall be the end? And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? See that? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, some of the righteous of our nation that believe and follow after Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we all counted under sin, but he looking at that as righteousness by looking at us through the lens of Yahushua. All right, the elect, the hopeful elect. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear, man? See, the ungodly, that's unlawful, not spiritual, carnal, and the sinner, right, breaking the laws, right, the ones that denounce God. They're gonna, where shall they appear at? All right. Now, wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well doing as unto a faithful creator, right? We trust that the Lord is going to pay us for our rewards and give payment to them for their wickedness. All right, so judgment must begin at the house. Look at this one. I like I wasn't even on there yet. Hopefully you can see this, John. Zechariah. All right. Actually, I don't want this one yet. Let's go to Matthew 3 and 9. This is Matthew 3 and 9. It says here, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father, right? It's not about you just being an Israelite. You got to follow after Yahweh Shai to get to the Father, Yahweh. For I say unto you that Yahweh is able of these stones to raise up children unto Yahweh, unto Abraham. Now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree. So he's starting with the root of the tree. What's that? The children of Israel. All right, so the axe is laid to the root of the trees, man. And even going back then, talking about the foundation that was laid uh, with those that claimed they were keeping the laws, which was the Sanhedrin. All right, so the axe is laid to the root of the trees, meaning of our people. Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. All right. It says, what? They're gonna be cast into the fire, the lake of fire, destruction. 2/3 of our people that bring not forth good fruit, they're gonna be hewn down. They're gonna be cut down with these sickle, the missiles. All right. Um, let's get this. Right. Matter of fact, look at it. Let's go somewhere else real fast. Because it speaks about the winds. Right? Spoke about the wind or the chaff. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Daniel 2 and 35. It says here, and this speaks about the Lord judging these heathens, right? Especially Esau. Then Daniel 2 and 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, and the silver. So all those kingdoms going from the Babylon to, well, actually, this would be talking about, from Babylon to the Persians and the Medes to the Greek Empire, the brass, and then and the gold, which goes into the Roman Empire. So like, all right. So yeah, man. So the iron represents uh, Rome. So all those kingdoms. Somebody said it's going to be on his head, on Yahweh's head. Is going to be many crowns. Because by bringing down Esau, basically, they're going to take down all these nations. All right. Basically, that the kingdoms of Satan that are upon this earth. That's what this statue represents. Satanic kingdoms. It says what? They shall be broken in pieces together. The Lord gonna break the wickedness and became like chaff of the summer threshing floors. All right. So and the wind carried them away, the nuclear winds, the destruction. That no place was found for them. So America is not gonna be found for them to rule anymore. They're not gonna be able to use America. The staff of the wicked is broken. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain. Talking about Yahweh Shai. It's going to become a great kingdom on this earth. So that wicked kingdom is going to be destroyed in the destruction. And filled the whole earth, man. We're going to fill the whole earth. It's going to start. It's going to start from Jerusalem. From Israel. The land of Israel is going to beacon and grow out. We're going to populate the whole earth. And so much that we're going to go on to other planets. All right. So yeah, they're gonna be part of that. The winds. This is the winnowing tool. To scatter the nations, to scatter the chaff. And these nations represent the chaff. 2/3 represent the chaff. All right, let's look at chaff. What is chaff? Chaff. It says here chaff, the husk of corn or other seed separated by winnowing or threshing, the threshing floor. Hmm. What is chaff according to the Bible? The refuse of winnowed corn, so the trash, basically, the less desirable. It was usually burned. That's what you do with chaff. You burn it. All right. This was sometimes, however, it means, yeah, chaff is used as a figure of abortive wickedness. Abortive wickedness. They funny. All right. So yeah, man. Wow. Say, chaff is dry, scaly, like plant material, such as the protective seed casing of cereal grains. All right. What do you call that? Fuel for the fire, man, basically. The scale like parts of flowers, the finally chopped straw, chopped straw. Chaff cannot be digested by humans. So not useful. But it may be fed to livestock, fed to the nations, or plowed into soil. They're gonna get plowed, threshed, stomped out, or burned. That's prophetic right there. Sheesh. All right. Let's go back. Go to Isaiah 17, 13. It's Isaiah 17 and 13. The nations, see, you're talking about those nations, shall rush like the rushing of many waters. That we say they're going to rush in like a flood. But Yahweh shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. All right. So that rolling thing is like tumbleweed rolling up the block running. They're gonna get caught up in the fire, man. Combustion. All right. And behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. See, before the kingdom, Esau is going to be destroyed. All right, and be rendered powerless. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. All right, they're going to be part of that chaff that they're in this place, America. All right. Get this. First Peter's 1:1. I think so. Peter's 1. Oh, it's Psalm 1. Sleep. I'm tripping. Psalm 1:1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, man. Because we don't want to be numbered with them, the chaff. Nor standeth in the way of sinners," right? We don't want to be numbered with 2/3. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful or the scoffers, all right? But his delight is in the law of the Most High, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. The hopeful elect, shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, right? So you're going to be anointed every lifetime you're on this earth when it deals with prophecy. You know, there was a time we were spiritually dead as well, though, in slavery. His leaf also shall not wither, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper, man. The ungodly are not so, 2/3 and these heathens, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. So he's comparing ungodliness to the chaff, all right? The undesirables. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment day, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. All right, so he's going to gather out all things that offend and all things that commit iniquity. They shall not stand in that day. For Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. All right, so they're going to perish on that path that they're going because of this right here. Look at Jeremiah 51:1. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me." So, what? A destroying wind. All right, so the ones that dwell in this place and 2/3 that are here as well, that dwell amongst these heathens and follow after their ways, they're gonna be what? They're gonna hit the Most High is raising up this destroying wind. That's an effect that comes from the ICBM's nuclear level destruction. Part of that process of destroying humans in the way the Most High is choosing to is fire to melt, and the heat and the winds and the noise. All that represents Yahweh's wrath. All right, that's part of the 7 last plagues that's going to be poured out. Let's get, let me see what this is. Ezekiel 20:38. This is Ezekiel 20:38. Well, actually, this is going to happen in the kingdom. I don't really want this one right now. No, I don't want that. Let's get, right, Hebrews 3:6. Hebrews 3 and 6. It says, right. There you go. I'll just read it down real fast. Hebrews 3 and 6. But Yahushua as the son over his own house, whose house are we, right? The axe is going to be laid to the root of the trees. His fan is in his hand. If we hold fast the confidence and rejoicing of the hope firm unto the end, see, that's the hopeful elect, all right? Wherefore, as the Holy Spirit saith today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts in this age, right? As in the provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness. So the same ones that came out of Egypt, 1446 BC, and that was destroyed in the wilderness, the Lord going to destroy them same people, or the ones that following that example. They're going to be destroyed in this wilderness. All right. America, the world is a wilderness right now. Yeah, it's a wilderness after that. I'm talking about the destruction. All right. Harden not your hearts as in the provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness. So now we're in that time of what? Temptation, trial, testing period. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. See, they err in their heart, and they have not known the Lord's ways. That's why they dwell in iniquity and they offend the Lord by breaking his laws, you know, confidently, pridefully. And then you have disrespecting the Lord, right? So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. So the same ones that was back then, he swore to him. He said, yo, you're not going to be the ones of the first fruits of the elect. That's why Moses was telling them back then, choose life. Because in the day of judgment, the Most High is going to render back all those days from back then. They're going to say, yo, you know, it was just like yesterday to him. So this is what we need to do. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power, man. Right? But exhort one another daily while it is called today. That's why we teach, do our lessons. Lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. All right. So that's why we do these lessons, to keep encouraging each other and manipulating, influencing, driving each other towards the kingdom, pushing, hastening the day. All right. So we don't want to have an evil heart of unbelief, like 2/3 did back coming out of Egypt. All right. Matter of fact, let's get Acts 7 and 37. Because even Yahushua spoke about it, man. The Most High didn't forget that. He said, no, they're never going to enter his rest. To enter the rest means to be of the first fruits. You know, they may be brought back as children in the kingdom, but they'll never see the miracles, the promises happening, coming to fruition. If they see it, they're not going to be able to take part in it. They'll be destroyed. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Then shall they see it. Acts 7 and 37. It says, let's go to 36. He brought them out. Damn, it's deep right here. Right, man. I was reading earlier. Let me just go over here real quick. Acts 7 and 35. This Moses whom they refused, right? Moses, Hebrew word mashah, which means drawn from the water, symbolic of the elect, or Yahushua first, and the elect today, whom 2/3 of our people have refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge, right? That's what they said to Moses. The same did Yahweh, the same person that they said that to is the one that Yahweh chose to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. And that was Yahweh that appeared to Ezra in the bush, right? Right? Let me, why not, man? Why not? Real quick. That was Yahweh, man. Look, same one that spoke to Moses in the burning bush is the same one that spoke to Ezra in the burning bush. But he said the angel. This is second Ezra 14:1. And it came to pass upon the third day, I sat under an oak, all right, under a bush, or under a tree. And behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Ezra. See, same thing, Moses. And I said, here am I, Lord. And I stood upon my feet. Then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses. So that was Yahweh talking to him. And talk with him when my people served in Egypt. I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up to the mount of where I held him by me a long season, right? All right. And told him many wondrous things and showed him the secrets of the times and the end and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare and these shalt thou hide, right? Even with Ezra's, towards the last chapter, he was designated. He asked the Lord, he prayed to the Father, bless me, anoint my mind so I can write down everything you're telling me. And the Most High did that. He gave him some writers, I think like 5 people, to be scribes for Ezra. And they stayed up during the day and they would write, and at night they would eat. And the Lord put a spirit on them to write in the purest of the Paleo Hebrew. And also for Moses, for Ezra to continue speaking. He just wouldn't shut up. He would talk day and night. The spirit was on him. That's what we praying for the spirit to be on us to continue to speak day and night. All right. I know I'm praying for that same thing. It's called being on fire for the truth, right? So the Lord told him wondrous things, and as part of it, he told Ezra to keep. He said like 70 books of the ones that you wrote. 70 of them, keep them hidden and just give them to wise people around you. But the rest of the books that you've written, give those to the whole nation, right? So even today, you might have certain understanding and deep knowledge, but everything don't have to be put out. You don't have to tell it to every person. You may give some jewels to certain people that you can trust with it. So yeah, man, that was Yahweh. Just a quick pointer off the topic that was speaking to Ezra and the same one that was speaking to Moses in the burning bush. Happened twice. Acts 7:35. This Moses, whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge? The same did Yahweh send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. See, Yahweh sent Yahweh to set up Moses as the deliverer. All right. He brought them out. After that, he had showed the wonders. So the Most High made Moses a god in the sight of the nations of power, and signs in the land of Egypt, in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. So those are miracles the Lord was showing us, signs that we can read upon and remember for knowledge. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your power raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me, him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness, all right, that called out um, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai. The angel is Yahushua, and with our fathers, um, who received the lively oracles to give unto us. Right, that's what they call it. This is really Jerusalem, our forefathers. All right, it's a people before it's a place. All right, that's really our that's really Jerusalem, the mother of Jerusalem. We kind of like the daughters, right? The founding fathers of that land, Jerusalem, Israel. All right, was really a people before it's a place. The ones that came out of Egypt, to whom our fathers would not obey. See, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts they turned back again into Egypt, saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us. For as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what became of him. All right, so now, and they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto idols and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Then Yahweh turned them over Yahweh turned and gave them up to worship the host of heavens. That's what they doing, man. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, Satan claws, all this shit. Right? You can go on and on, man. Easter, all these deal with the planets. And as it is written, the book of the prophets, in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? All right. I'm not gonna read all this because I get to. You can read that Acts chapter 7. I want to stick to the point. So the Most High is making that separation. He said he's gonna gather out. He's gonna separate um, uh, all the rebels from amongst our nation. They're gonna trap them with that destruction. All right. So let me see if I got anything else on my phone. Prior precepts are concerned. All right. So now let's get Matthew 24, 22. Matthew 24 and 22. And except, right? For except those days should be shortened. So the Lord going to speed everything up. It's going to happen fast. There shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Right? That's why you got to shorten the time, man. Because Esau, like, their deception is getting stronger. All right? They would try to deceive even the very elect. Look at these UFOs they got now. We only titled UFOs as the chariots of the Most High. Now they got another object that they call UFOs or drones. And Project Bluebeam. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo here or lo there, believe it not, for there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, man. All right, that's called psyops. I'm gonna do a lesson on that. Right, trying to deceive the people, but it's not possible to deceive the elect. All right. Revelation 14 and 13. That's right, man. It says, Revelation 14 and 13, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in Yahushua from henceforth. Yea, the Spirit, yea, saith the Spirit that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. That's the whole point. They had the works follow us. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one that sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand what? A sharp sickle. All right, and that goes into the wrath of the Most High. That's put into Yahushua's hand. Also, he got beams coming out of his hand, dealing with Second Ezra 13, and he controls these missiles. All right, so actually, I think I read this earlier. Yep, I read the rest of that earlier. It's the judgment upon the wicked. So let's go to James 2 and 17. Trying to move fast because I know I went too long into this lesson. James 2 and 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. All right. Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. All right. So that's what we're doing. That's what's making the separation. Faith by works, instead of being like 2/3 that are working iniquity. All right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this lesson up, man. Zechariah 13 and 8. I started going to another lesson. Anyway. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, that land is talking about this place, America, or Babylon, spiritually, the place of confusion. Saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So they're going to be cut off, just like you do with the sickle, and then they're going to be destroyed by the winds. It's going to scatter. But the third shall be left therein. So the elect are going to be left to survive, put it like that. Right? And that's in Second Ezra as well, where it speaks about blessed are those that are left behind, that are still survived, that survived the coming destruction. All right. So the elect 2/3 is going to be destroyed, and the elect 1/3 is going to be left to survive. All right, and make it through. And I will bring the third part, the 1/3, through the fire. So we already started that process of being brought through persecution and adversity. But then it's going to be physical fire, and we refine them as silver is refined, man. So basically strengthening our faith, making us perfect, giving us new bodies. All right. And we'll try them as gold is tried. So the Lord is refining us, and then we're going to be tried with the temptation, the hour of temptation. It's going to test our faith with the MOTB and with the destruction. It's going to test every man's work of which sort it is. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. All right. But 2/3 aren't going to say that. So let's go back here real quick. Matthew 13. And I think it was like 40 something. There we go. 41. It says, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, talking about Yahushua, sending forth his holy angels, Psalms 91. And they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, right? All things that continue to continually break the laws of the Most High, and them which do iniquities, and those that still dwell in sin. Right? Not just the laws, but the laws, basically, that deal with idolatry and all this wickedness on the left-hand side. All right? The ones that despise the Lord's laws, he said he's going to destroy them. So, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. All right? So this scripture right here is mainly talking about he's going to gather out of his kingdom, so from amongst his people first, The judgment shall start at the house. Um, and it says what? He shall say, it is my people. So 2/3, he's not going to say that to. He said, they have risen up as an enemy against him. All right. So they're going to be filtered out and destroyed. All right. So hopefully this was edifying. Breakdown of Matthew's 13 and 43. What was it called? All right. So I'm going to name it this right here. All things that offend and all things that do iniquity. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this here, man, and hopefully it's edifying. See you on the next one. Uh, stay in the spirit, stay focused, and keep believing. So we almost out of here, man. Salvation is at the door, but before that, it's the time of Jacob's trouble. So we have to fortify our mind, fortify our mind, which is our hearts, and fortify our households and the Akim. With that, I'm gonna say, Shalom.